This is the second video in the basic type tutorials. For today's video, I'm going to be discussing size, color, shape, creating bold and italics, and I'm going to introduce you to layer styles. I'm going to start with size. When you're changing the size of text that's already been typed, you can do it similarly to how we change the size of images by going to Edit and Free Transform. Then you can simply pull the boxes and then you can change the size to anything that you want. It doesn't matter. You can also move the text around to change the location. When you are done, click the check mark at the top of the screen. Next, I'll change the color. So I'll click on my color layer in the layers palette. And then you will see that I will change the text color by clicking on the type tool. And at the top of the screen on the options bar, you see this black box. This black box is the current color of the text. If you click that box, you can change the color of the text to anything that you wish. The next is how to change the shape or the font of the text. So I will click on my shape layer, and with the layer tool still selected, you will look at that menu bar again, and you'll see that the text, the font that is currently in use will be displayed here. If you click the drop down, you'll see that Photopea has dozens of different fonts, and they show you what the font will look like on the right. So you can choose whatever font you want. When you are selecting a font in Photopea, it takes a moment for the font to load. But after that moment, then that font will show up. I'm going to go to bold and italic next. To create a bold or an italic version of the current font, you have to use the character palette. The character palette is located under Window and select Character. Then you get a little screen like this, a little menu. At the bottom of the menu is where you will find bold and italics. Since I have the bold and italics on a single layer, I have to highlight the text first that I would like to bold, and then choose the first letter P, and it will create a bold version of that text. In order to create italic, which is the second letter P at the bottom of that menu, you click, hold, and highlight the text, and then select the second P, and you will create an italic version of that text. When complete, click the check mark at the top of the screen. Lastly, I'll talk about layer styles. Layer styles is a very broad subject, and I have videos that show many different effects you can create with layer styles, but I'm going to just cover a couple and show you where to find all those options. So with the layer styles, layer selected, I will go to the very top of the screen and choose layer. And then I will choose layer style. These are all the different layer styles you can choose from. I'm going to start with a drop shadow. And then you get this menu, and you will see all of those layer styles repeated again. Now these controls look very complicated. The best way to learn about them is to play with them. As you can see, currently the color of the drop shadow is yellow. I can control how intense that is, the opacity of that. I can make it very light or very dark. I can also change that color if I click that yellow square. I can change to whatever I want it to be. You can control how far away that drop shadow is, and you can also control the size of the drop shadow.